Hey, this is Kim here, the Divine Warrior Goddess, and I thought I would pop on to do a quick energy report for 10/9. We are approaching in the 10/10 gateway, which is balance, it's unity, it is um, like an antenna to the universe of our creation, of what do we want to create. So even if you're in the depths of releasing or still in the death of the ego, which has been going on for about a week now, and I am moving out of mine, thankfully, because it's not fun, but it's very necessary to assist us to getting to higher consciousness, unity consciousness, and the ego holds us back, tries to keep us down, supposedly safe. And if we listen to all of the stories that it's telling us, we're going to be brought back down to the depths of hell. So it's important not to get stuck down there. Um, and I always know now when the death of the ego is coming because we have many along the way. Not just, there's not just one. Everything cycles back around to release more and more. So I had a really big death of the ego earlier this year, which made me very physically ill. But before that, I was freaking out in my mind. All these questions. I had moved. I didn't know where I was going to be living. How do I run a business when I don't have an address? Blah, 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 blah. All these stories and doubts. Um, I didn't, I couldn't write. I couldn't make videos. I was worried everyone was going to forget all about me. It was really, really deep. I had a high fever that lasted several days, and I heard I am dying, and I actually felt like I was dying at that time. Luckily, I realized shortly after I heard that, oh, I'm not dying. It is the death of my ego. So it's awareness of what we're going through and why. We don't always see it when we're in it, but it comes to us either during or afterwards. So many of us are in a collective death of the ego. And for me, luckily, this was a much smaller one, but it still is trying to tell me untruths about myself. And that is what this energy is bringing us, is this death of the ego so that we can move onward and upward. And I know it's not fun, but it is very necessary. And it also challenges us to not get caught up in it and not believe it. I'm seeing a monarch butterfly right outside the window right now. So the thing is not to get stuck in the story. So we want to get back to our balance and do whatever it is that we can. Now, one of my biggest things is monitoring your thoughts that I teach about is monitoring our thoughts to create this monarch butterfly. I wish I could show you. It's just beautiful. It's huge. It's gorgeous. Um, Sorry, it's distracting. I don't even remember where I was as we are quantum and nonlinear. Sometimes it just flows right out of us and we just got to flow with it. Not to get all caught up and to catch those thoughts that are putting us down and putting us in fear. Uh, Fear is false evidence appearing real, which I learned many, many years ago. And it's true. If we're truly living in the moment, as humans and the ego, we were always focusing on the future and our little nest egg or keeping us safe and secure. And these ascension is about not having a safety net, basically. Although we are always provided for, we are always taken care of. It is a walk of faith and trust and a knowingness that it all will be taken care of by our higher self. And when we are in challenging times, it's important to remember to not blame it on anything outside of yourself. I know and I see many light keepers that are still caught up in the darkness and entities that are trying to hold you down. And I don't buy into that anymore. I haven't. Entity removal and that kind of stuff used to be my specialty. And I was told not to work with that energy anymore because as we raise our frequency, we're higher, we raise above that. So we're above that. They cannot touch you. They're not even real anymore. Everything that happens to us happens for us. It is divinely orchestrated by us, our higher self, which is us, to assist us in moving forward. So perhaps you experienced a timeline collapse where you lost almost everything, as I did. But the thing is, if we try to hang on to that and we cling with all our might, we are prolonging this experience that we're in. It only makes it worse. And let's think about why are we trying to hang on to something where that reality already collapsed? It is our ego. It is our human program of a safety net. Because in reality, we are working towards being sovereign beings, and that means in all ways and not relying on anyone to do anything for us. That does not mean that we cannot assist others and accept assistance, but we don't need them. So if you really need something and that is what brings you joy and feel love, then be very careful because it can be taken away from you to show you that we cannot attach to things and need them for our joy. Everything has to come from within. So it is all about self-love and finding our own joy and not relying on others because it could be taken away in an instant and that whole reality could collapse. And what do you have? There's nothing left. And that can be scary, but it propels us to step into our all new realities that are just waiting for us, waiting for it to happen. If we face the fear and just move on, even though it's scary, even though we're not sure what's going to happen, we have to move on or we will be brought down to the depths of hell. And we don't want that to happen because we are moving so quickly and we can have multiple timeline collapses in a day. We have to learn how to just flow with the energy. So if we clear the timelines so that all new higher timelines can come through, if we do it consciously, we're not brought through it and dragged through it kicking and screaming. Because your universe wants you to have the most beautiful experiences and connections and life. So let it go. If someone walks away from you, let them go. If they try to come back in, you may decide to allow them to. And if they're meant to stay, they will. And if they're not, then they will go again. And then you'll have to go through it all over again. So it's always discernment and feeling in your heart, not using your mind, using your higher mind and your heart to connect as you tune in and feel, is this timeline right for me or is it not? Is my ego telling me that this is right for me? Or is my higher self telling me that it is right for me? It is a dance for a while as we figure it all out. Because sometimes it's hard when we're really in the depths of despair. It is very hard. And that's when it is a good time, if you feel called to do so, to have a one-on-one session with someone, an energy session, so that they can help you to see what you're not seeing. Because it is really hard to see sometimes when you're in the depths of it. And those are the kind of things that I can assist you with in a session. And there are many more out there. Whoever you resonate with can assist you, because as energy workers, energy masters, we can see and read energy clearly and the dynamics of the energy. And you will notice that you can too when you are not in that deep state. But when we are in that deep state, it's very hard to see clearly. So sometimes we need assistance. So even though we're sovereign, we are there for each other. We live from love. And sometimes you need to accept help. And if you notice you get help, do you accept it? Do you feel deserving? Do you love yourself enough to say, yes, I deserve help. Thank you very much. Because when we need help and we won't accept it, that is ego, that is pride. And our higher self has presented us with a gift and we've refused it. So what happens? You're not going to receive more gifts. But if you accept gifts and you give gratitude, you will receive more gifts. So, as we are nonlinear, we are bebopping all over the place. I guess it did start out as an energy report, but we went into other things that needed to be discussed. So, I'm just going to leave you with that. And if you are interested in a personal session with me, you can go to divinewarriorgoddess.com and find them there. I have a live event coming up this Saturday, October 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and it is a New Earth Mastery retreat. I can't even think of the words. That's another thing about Ascension is I forget how to spell. I can't find the right words. We have a hard time talking. So you just kind of have to flow with it. That's why I speak slow. I try to use the right words. And I'm listening and reading the quantum field and what I need to say and what I need to project with each word. So anyhow, the retreat is Saturday. If you want to sign up, you can find it on my live events page on my website. So I am sending you so much love as always, and have a beautiful, beautiful day. I love you all. Take care. See you soon.